What if I told you this week's episode has like cemented for me the fact that this is going to be the anime of the season, if not more than likely going to be one of my top animes of the year. And I knew walking into it that it was going to be good. Not what it was, the premise was, just watching like the trailer when people were saying about it and everything. Holy crap. We'll talk about it here in this episode review breakdown, but like, holy shit. The way the plot pushes forward, and there's quite a few in-depth layers already, and we are just on episode 2 getting to the island. And besides between the plot moving, the intertwining small like little plots in there, and then the fact that it's moving this quickly, we've got a diverse cast of characters. The action scenes are filled with just creative, intense, bloody awesomeness. And the soundtrack on top of it really fills in that tiny little gap you need for those type of things. And it creates this perfect shell. And awesome. So anyways, let's talk about this episode here real quick. Now, this one starts off with a flashback with our lovely little samurai Yamada, with her like reminiscing on the fact that like her father did the same job that she ended up taking up. And she tells this story about one time that he was going to execute this storyteller, and he wanted to tell his story while he was getting executed, and he let him do that. And he's telling the story, and he gets executed, and even while he was beheaded, he was still telling the story. Like having to carry that burden of taking someone else's life and them still wanting to carry on, which is going to be an underlying theme for this, I'm assuming, most of the series, from what I can tell, at least on Yamada's end. So that's gonna be her problem, I'm pretty sure. But after that, she's like, I want to do exactly like my father. And she kind of like flashes to like her first, like, I don't know if it's her first one, but it's definitely one of her very first ones. It shows her with her first beheading, and you could see just the fear on her face, and like the fact that she didn't execute the cut perfectly. And the guy that was in a flashback earlier that looked older than her is also one of these samurais still now. And he tells her that, your cuts look like there's doubt and fear. And she knows it. Like, she knows that from what you see for visuals. However, she's trying to figure out how to cope and accept with it. But we go to her next killing, and same thing happens, except this time, like, you get to, like, visually kind of, like, see the guilt of the other people, like, pulling her down. And it makes, like, all the metaphors, like her blade getting heavier, and they do a really fantastic job of doing this. And it makes me really happy because, like I always say, you get 1 to 2, 10 animes a year, and you never know what it's going to be. You can predict what it's going to be, and, you might get it, you might not. This, so far, has outdone my expectations and more. Just in this scenes. And so, like, she's, like, kind of thinking to herself right after that, if I were, if there was a life I could take with doubt or hesitation, would it be his? And of course, she's referring to Gebimaru, but I feel like you'll see in a little bit, but I feel like he's going to do more changing of her life than, like, actually make, like, having a goal to kill him. But after that, we get to see how the criminals kind of lined up in this, like, fence area, because we went to go meet with the shogun of the area that was hiring or trying to get these convicts to go to the island and get that elixir of life. And she's kind of going through them. Like, there's a burglar who killed 30 people, and there's some arsonists, and then there's this like crazy guy who had killed like 30 people that were all women and children. And they're just the samurais are describing to everybody how, like, you know, if you do this, you'll get an official pardon, even though we already know all these details and everything. We see this girl who's already definitely going to be the waifu of the series, and it's a Yuzuriha. I don't know exactly what she is yet, but it's definitely some type of clan similar to his, I'm guessing, because she's heard of him, and like her line of work, so I'm assuming maybe an assassin or something. And of course, right after that, Yamada overhears this, and she's like, you know, maybe he's more evil than the rumors claim, you know? And so they bring out an exhibit, which is this, I can't remember if they said it was a monk or what it was that went to the island. However, this is what they have, only thing they've had that's came back, and it's him, and he's got those flowers blooming out of him everywhere, which looks really, like, dark, mysterious, and really just kind of neat, especially for being a dead guy with flowers popping out everywhere. But they kind of even show like him right before it happened, where he has like these sprouts on him and it shoots through his eyes, and like it's really cool and visually pleasing the way they decided to develop that. But right after that, there was a guy who pretty much decides he doesn't want to do this, and he just would rather go back to incarceration than get his head chopped off. And he gets up and starts walking, and he just gets his head sliced off like that. No hesitation. And like, he's like, oh yeah, by the way, if you don't do this, you're dead anyway. So, and by the way, we actually can't fit all of you, so we meet kind of one of the guys that's going to be one of the main 10 casts, and we kind of get introduced to them right off the bat, but this one just murders him. So that's the conclusion they come up with, is just kill everybody. It's like, okay. So we get these kind of introductions because the Shogun's interested in seeing who they are, and one of them's this kid that's like, was a group of like a leader of a group of bandits, and then there's Kinoichi, or you know, Yuzuharia. Oh my gosh, can't even talk. Yuzuriya, and she's, oh my gosh, yep. Anyways, and we see this other guy who's a master swordsman known as the Blade Dragon, and he looks pretty fierce. And then there's this other guy who's this giant who apparently like ate a bear, and like spears and blades don't work on him. And that's just a few of them, and we get to see just how gruesome all these murders are. And her, not master, I guess, somebody she looks up to that let's talk about earlier that was there when her dad was there, says, you know, maybe you're just not made for this. This isn't your thing. So we get one more flashback, which is like, in this village, she's like, you know, you don't really have a choice. No matter what you're doing in life, you're going to be dealing with death. So even like at one point, she was walking home from school, and all the kids are throwing rocks at her because of her dad's profession, and she gets blood all over her face. And when she goes home one day, she's just crying into her mom's lap, and you can tell that emotional damage this has on her. But then she goes into the other room and looks at the katanas and pulls one out and sees her reflection, and the blade is like, one of the quotes in the series so far is like, the truth is reflected in the blade, and that really symbolizes something, because like hers is like all skulls and blood, and there's something deep inside that we're going to figure out, and that's not only just her fear, but something really big. And I'm pretty looking forward to that little plot development. And right after that, she's got like these 3 guys that charge at her, and she kills every one of them. And while she does that, she sees like this, like, she gets that like mode again where all the dead corpse arms are climbing on top of her, and they keep piling more and more and more. And like, it's like, oh gosh. And then so Gebimaru is over there trying to like talk to like the samurais and the shogun. He's like, I don't want to do this, you know, like, what's the point of killing each other, you know? But like, they tell them that if they kill him, that they'll all be able to fit on the boat. And it's like, okay, but one Gebimaru or 4 other guys, like, I don't know. But anyways, so he's like, fine, I guess gonna make me kill people, whatever. I didn't want to do this, but like, and he goes on this spree, and you'll see like from these stills, they do not hesitate on the kills and the blood. There's even like, I'll put it in here, like he literally rips this guy's neck off. It is brutal, this killing spree he goes on. Like, he even like rips this guy's heart out at the end. It is so dark. And then like after that, they've got this sunset on the lake or sea, whatever it is, and it's like blood red to symbolize all of that. And it is just wild. It is so great. But man, so then we kind of flash back to Yamada over there, and she's like, maybe that's it. She thought, that taking on I'm saying this totally ass backwards, but what she says is like the fact that it's not strength she was looking for. It was the fact that, and the resolve to take on the burden and the fear of the life she took. It's like really deep. And she learns that kind of from like him. Like, he didn't want to kill, but he killed because he needed to kill to get to what he needed to do, and that's get back to his wife and take her and escape this life. And it's gonna be really neat to see how that goes, because like I love that kind of shit. So this is gonna be neat. And after that, pretty much the rest of the episode, we get introduced like to the other ones. Nothing really crazy. Like there's this Horubu, the killing prayer, Akaginu, the cannibal curtain, which I think will be kind of neat. I don't know anything about these guys, and then one of them is definitely seen in the title. I think they all are, but that's Moro Makia the Apostle, and he's the guy with the red hair. Oh, they all look great. And then we get to see that they're going to be all accompanied by the executioners of the Yamada clan. So we get to meet those guys too, on top of these guys, while this like battle royale is going to be going on this island. It is going to be just freaking crazy. But yeah, after that we go on the boat, and we get to see Yamada and he's gonna take me all in these names, and Gabimaru on the boat, and we gotta see the fog and the island, and it looks really nice. And they tell them that you're going to paradise. So yeah, and then we close scene with them pretty much arriving on the island, and Gabimaru making this crazy face. So overall, I freaking loved this episode. There's so much I could say about it, and like I will as it goes on and more is like happening. But just everything, piece of perfection. I am so excited for this. I hope you guys are too. You guys have to let me know what you guys think of this series down in the comments below so far. And if you enjoyed, please give this video a like. It means a lot. And if you really enjoy it, hit that subscribe button. I thank you very much. And if you stayed this long and you didn't enjoy it, you know what? That's cool. Thanks for coming. And this has been Squids, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.